Caffeine and cigarettes can do so much to keep me nailed down to the floor. So much for rest, I'll sleep when I'm dead. But I've been here before, I've been here before.
Good afternoon. You're tuning in to the Afterdark Spotlight, and today we have No Chaser with us. No Chaser's been in the Afterdark Studio, maybe three or 4 months or so. Working on a new project and stuff like that. So we're going to tell you about that. We're going to have some links to their music. So what we're going to start, we're going to introduce, we got Zach over here. This is Corey.
What's up?
So you can go either way. Tell them, I guess, for the people that don't know you, since you guys are, I guess, kind of fresh and new on the scene. So how did you guys get started? You can either tell us, like individual stories, how you got playing music, and then maybe how you joined together to do the No Chaser project. So whoever wants to go first.
We started playing. We were in like several different projects, together and separately, kind of growing up and in and out of high school and stuff, in and out of different bands and like harder music, rock music and metal and stuff like that. And then those faded and went away, and we stayed in contact. We have a lot of the same friends and that, and just decided to get together and start playing music. And we grew up on country music, and we both love it. And so when we started playing, it was just a natural thing. So we started writing songs, and then, some of them weren't so bad. So we decided to come out here and record it and start playing and gigging out. And so
took us about 20 years to start doing country music, and here we are.
Here we are.
That's kind of like me. Like when I started, I started playing when I was 12, and I was a little metalhead and stuff like that. I still am at heart and stuff, but I've kind of like learned what makes money. And like I said, people come see my band does like a lot of 70s and 80s and rock and stuff like that. But when I record, they're like, dude, you record a bunch of country music, and I work with a bunch of different songwriters and stuff like that. So that's a lot, put out a lot of stuff. But so when y'all are writing stuff, so they're a duo. So they might be the next Brooks and Dunn. So when y'all write stuff, so like I get a different aspect. So when I'm working with artists in the studio, I get to see the creative side. Like when people listen to songs, people don't realize what goes into a song. They hear a song, 2 or 3 minute song. Oh man, it's a great song, or yeah, it's okay. They don't realize it takes hours to go into that. You know what I mean? It's just it's a process. So even artists that come in the studio for the first time and see their song come to life and the creativity, they're like, wow, I didn't know this is how it's made. Or if they have friends that tag along, they're like, can we watch? And they watch this house being built, and they're like, man, we didn't realize that, it takes that long to do a 3-minute song.
Absolutely.
So, and I get the first look. So one thing that I realize about y'all's music and is, so when y'all work on a song, do you write words? Do you write music? How do y'all do the songs? How do you compose a song? Because when I heard like these songs, like I have so many different bands coming in, genres, rock, country, rap, whatever. But like, and I'm not just saying this because you're like on the podcast, but like some of the songs you sing, like what was the last one we did? What's the name of the?
Was
the Run song?
Run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, these lyrics are like, dude, these are like. So I was like, sometimes I want to ask these clients, is this like true stories, or like are these things made up, or are you that good of a storyteller? And sometimes I'm afraid to ask, but like, so with Run, was that a true story? Or,
that's absolutely a true story.
Man,
yeah.
Like when you hear it, I was like, because they record it, and I get to hear it as they're doing it, and I'm like, and I'm listening to the words as they're tracking vocals, but I'm having to do my production and do my job. But when I go to mix it, and I'm sitting in here by myself, I'm like, oh my God, this is like, it's like, it's, even though it's a true story and it's like sad, it's like, I think there's people that can relate to this. I think your songs are relatable. And because it's, like I said, whether some of the other ones are true stories or not, the lyrics are like, I want to cut my wrist, man. This song is like, but in a powerful way, but not really. But like, even like the one you did about, the wife or girlfriend in the bathroom floor shutting the door. And
Oh yeah,
it's just-
Bonfires of Vampires. That
and
was
it's
our
like,
first
and
one.
and when you sing it and stuff, like I said, and I work with so many different artists that don't sing, I guess they sing with conviction and stuff. And like, you know, I did like a little live video of you on one, and it's just you singing, there's no music. People's like, good God, that dude can sing. You know, 'cause it was one of the spots where you were just doing that thing, and it was just, it was amazing. And these songs, when I'm sitting there mixing, I'm listening to the lyrics, because I mute the vocals and do things. I'm like, man, these lyrics are like hardcore. And that's, to me, that's relatable stuff versus, you know, I'm sitting on my tailgate with a 6-pack of beer or whatever. You know, those are fun and everything, but like, you know, I think when y'all hear this music, you're going to be like, you know, if you went through a relationship breakup, or if you went through, you know, hard times and, you know, the Bonfires of Vampires, you're going to be like, man, I feel this.
Yeah, well, we've it kind of goes song by song. Some of it, I'll have an idea that'll spark something with him, or vice versa, or he'll, you know, I worked on this riff. What do you think? And we'll build something from there. But we try to stay as authentic and true. So most of our songs, I would say 90% of our songs are all true stories, or based in some sort of authenticity. Yeah, we try to be genuine, and lyrically, I've always been drawn to guys like Zach Bryan and Jason Isbell. Those guys are great lyricists. Like you said, to avoid like the buzzwords of like tailgates and 6-packs and pickups and
Which
stuff.
is what it is, but
which
like
we, you know, country music has its fair share of that, and we certainly fall into that lane sometimes. But we try to stay as authentic and true in our songs as we can.
Yeah. Well, I think you do a fantastic job. Like I said, I work with, you know, tons of artists, and I think you do a great job of getting the message across, because, you know, some people can just sing, it's just like, you know, monotone, la la la, and it's just like, and they could be singing about, you know, I love you, baby, I want to tell you how much I love you, but it's like, I love you, you know, it's just anyway. And when you get into it, I'm like, and me as a singer myself, you know, when I hear people singing and you're like, you know, you get it, I'm like, yeah, man, go. And it's just,
get it.
And it's so powerful and stuff like that. So as far as like, when you're writing music, do you write most of the music? Y'all kind of share the music. I know you do like a lot of the vocals, and you do some great harmonies and stuff like that. Do you predominantly like music and stuff like that, or do you throw in lyrics and stuff like that, or I guess what is your, when, like, if he brings you which, I mean, well, both of you play guitar and stuff like that, so y'all just throw ideas off each other and stuff like that, or?
So, I mean, for the most part, you know, as far as the music, you know, we try to kind of just like complement each other. Like, you know, it's, you know, some songs could be 60-40, some could be 90%, 10%, but, you know, I think that we just kind of have like a flow state when we're writing together. And, you know, we used to be the same way, you know, when we played with our metal band and our punk rock bands throughout the years before we landed with country. And, you know, I just think that, you know, for me personally, like, some bands, you know, they kind of have like the specific box, and like everyone does these specific jobs. And one thing that I think helps us continue to keep the ball rolling is that we go in there and there's no bad ideas, and we kind of just feed off of each other's energy and ideas. Great, you know, because he's, you know, there's plenty of, you know, guitar riffs that originated with him showing me like, hey, you know, what do you think of this progression? And then I take that progression, like with Been Here Before that we recorded, and, you know, it started with that D, and then I started picking off and doing the little country bends, and next thing you know, it was Been Here Before, and he's the one that brought the first line.
Yeah, because like I said, the things you do, and like I said, I don't know, you know, which, like when you first bring them in, who writes the music lyrics, but I just know that, man, that goes together. You know, sometimes I work with different artists, I'm like, man, those lyrics, that music, to me, would fit something different, but everything gels and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've always worked really well together, and like I said, we come from the, you know, different styles of music kind of background and stuff, and we kind of try to use those ideas and like little flares and stuff from different genres and stuff, and kind of make it. And that's why we've kind of started calling it alternative music.
Yeah, y'all, that's good. Yeah, I think music these days is like you're saying, being able to infuse, you know, your rock and punk metal in with this stuff, and I'll do some of that, because like the radio these days, you know, you turn on country radio and it's like, am I Mom, Star 94 because this is Beyonce. What about this?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm on South 107. It's like, you know what I mean? So it's wild to what radios are playing and how they identify music. Like I was listening to something the other day, and it was they were talking about like, you know, Nirvana and different. They're like, do you realize if it was like time coded, they're like, do you realize this is classic rock now? It's like, you know, because it's been, you know, 30 years ago, and it's just it's amazing how, and for the good and bad, how music has evolved and went. And like I said, it's just, and watching it grow and seeing other bands coming here and watching it evolve, and some's good, some's bad, but you know, like to each his own and stuff like that. But
right.
But I enjoy you know what y'all do. It's just, like I said, every session is different for me and stuff like that. And then when y'all come, you know, I look at my book and I have different people come. I'm like, man, I can't wait for this because can't wait to see. And it's just like I said, it's just amazing. And if you've never seen, maybe what we need to do is like find some bands like you guys. If you know that people that don't care, you know, some bands don't want people in here when they're tracking. Because they want it to be their private space, but you know, maybe one day we'll have you guys or some band that's open to some people just coming like sitting and watching. We need to do like a live podcast of
watch the song
we're
be
in the
built.
studio. You watch this. We're fixing to build a house and start from scratch and have how many?
That would be awesome.
How many would buy tickets? Or that's got to be a free thing. You know what I'm saying? You want an in studio session? So
well, that's something we've definitely learned since working with you. You know, because we wrote these songs and it's just us and two guitars.
Yeah.
And so we bring like, oh, we have this song, and then we sit down and it's like, well, let's add the bass and drums. And like, all right, yeah. And then it's, well, what do you think about an organ, or what do you think about this, or you know? And then next thing you know, it's like this song has become such a big thing. A lot of these songs that we've done with you is just like we never envisioned it would get this.
Yeah.
You know,
well, me
get
too.
to
I
this
mean, when you
point.
bring them in and y'all play them acoustic, I'm like, man, it sounds great. They're an acoustic duo. It sounds, I mean, you know, go play an acoustic gig and it sounds like that. And when I start, you know, thinking of production ideas, I'm like, because a lot of times I'll have people come in that have only been used to hearing their songs acoustic. When I mention, hey, you want to put a violin here? You want to put, no. I'm like, why? They're like, well, I'm just so used to hearing it acoustic. And I'm like, so you want an acoustic version? What are we doing? You know what I mean? And I think they're afraid or something to take this idea and because you can, I mean, you know, sometimes I guess you could probably overproduce songs, and we can tell by that with the radio. You can overproduce songs, you can underproduce songs, but a lot of clients I get when they're, and it makes me wonder, it's like, well, why did you book a session? Do you want to come in and do your song acoustic and vocal? They're like, no, I want to add just like drums and bass and that's it. So to sound like a band. But I'm like, but what about like lead guitar and some? No, that'll be too much. I'm like, no, let me show you know, because we can always take it out.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny how some folks get scared and stuff like that because they think once you do it, you're stuck with it. You know, it's like, no, we can try it. If it don't sound good, you pull it out. But it even amazes me because you know when y'all come in and anybody when people bring me songs, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
I don't know how the song's gonna. I'm hoping that I'm this brainiac and I'm going to give ideas and at the end of the day, it's going to be like, man, this is fantastic. Sometimes my ideas work. Sometimes people like them. Sometimes they don't. And, you know, I don't get butthurt. It's all creative process. But at the end of the day, when we're like, okay, we've been working 3-4 hours, 5-6 hours, let's listen to everything. Now we hit play and it's just like, wow, you know, and you do the before and after. So I've been taking some of the snippets of like when people, like for like my out of states, I do like the remote client thing where people send me like a scratch vocal and a scratch guitar, and it's just them by themselves, and then I'll go in and produce it. So I've been keeping like on my website for the studio. You can go in there and there's before and after clips. This is okay. This is the guy and his guitar with the phone recording, and here's the after effect, and it just goes into it. And it's amazing what does it. And sometimes, sometimes I surprise myself. I'm like, did I think of that? Like,
yeah.
I was listening to Pandora, so what I try to do to help get my clients' numbers up, like with y'all stuff or my stuff and different artists, like I'll go to Pandora and put in whatever No Chaser Radio, so it starts playing your songs. So what happens is I'll be listening, and it'll play a country song from whoever and all these big major label songs, and then songs that I produced or y'all songs come on in the midst of that, and I was like, man, this is cool. So I was listening to a song, listening to Pandora a few weeks ago, and this song came on. I was like, man, that's got a cool like vibe. I was like, man, that's cool. I was like, what is that? And then when the guy started singing, I realized, oh, I recorded that. You know? But it had been like, it'd been like a year ago or something. And I didn't remember. And I'm like, because I work with so many different people, and I was just like, that's weird. And I'm like, and it was cool hearing that in the midst of like all these big artists. And then I listened back to it. And I'm like, how did I do that? What, because when I do things that, like you said, in the spur of the moment, I can't tell you. Everybody's like, well, you should write down when you come up with these sounds. And I'm like, I'd have notebooks galore. You know what I mean?
It'd be too much. But that's been the kind of litmus test with the tunes that we're cranking out with you. If we can put it on a playlist and then no one's really, it just sort of blends in production wise, and quality. Yeah, everyone's just like, oh man, we got to get out there and see this guy.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's been really cool working here at the studio and then gigging out and playing different stuff. We've met some cool dudes like Zach Stitch and Adam McCorkle. They've helped us out a lot.
Yeah.
So we're getting out there, more and more. So as soon as this album's finished, we'll definitely be getting out more and more. So.
Yeah, so I don't actually. So me and Adam McCorkle play a lot of the same venues and stuff like that. We've never got to meet and stuff like that. But it's funny you mentioned him because like, what's today? Saturday, like Wednesday, he sent me a message on Facebook. He's like, hey man, I want to come check out your studio and stuff like that. I'm like, cool man, because like I said, I've seen, we like I said, play a lot of the same venues and stuff, and we've just never got to meet. So I look forward to meeting him. And stuff like that.
Adam's cool.
So,
Adam's cool.
Yeah, super cool.
Appreciate
guy.
you, buddy.
Yeah, very much. So no charge for that shout out.
yeah.
But
free one.
So if people want to find you guys to like, hire you, we know like. We'll put links to all your music, but all the music that you've done so far, is it on all the social platforms and stuff like that?
Yeah, we're just kind of getting the social media game up. No Chaser Music on Instagram, and we got the Linktree thing going, and different things are popping. We're gonna get more and more music out there. We're like doing some different like live recordings of our songs and stuff, and so the stuff we're doing with you, it's coming soon.
Cool.
Very soon.
And we'll have links to all that and everything too. So if people wanted to hire you guys, now do you just do predominantly like all original stuff, or do you do covers, or are you trying to stick to just doing the original thing? What's your thing? If somebody says, hey, I want to hire No Chaser for whether it's a birthday party or a wedding or a venue or something like that, what are they to expect? What are you shooting for and trying to do? Are you, like I said, are you trying to just stick with the cover thing, or what's your
we do mostly originals. Covers, we have a bunch of those too.
Yeah.
Right now, we've done a few gigs, but it's been, I think, all originals so far.
Yeah,
It's been all originals, but
we're trying to beef up the list of our covers.
Yeah.
But for the most part, that's where we are right now.
And that way, that's what I was like explaining. So that way, if you have, because I know there's things like Eddie's Attic, and we did a podcast with Rick McKee. And I need to get you guys hooked up with him. So what he does this singer-songwriter series. It's here in Cartersville, but it's at it's a Ascension Church in Cartersville. It's called the Church at the Red Door or something like that. But they do this thing once a month, and it's a singer-songwriter series. And what's cool about it is I went in there because usually, like I said, when I'm playing in bars, you got people, yeah man, play Freebird or something.
Yeah.
They're yelling, and you're kind of like background music, so you're just playing. So he's like, hey, will you come do one of our singer-songwriter series? I'm like, man, I don't even know if I know, because when I like I said, I told him before, when I write songs, I write them and record them and put them out and don't add them to my repertoire or whatever. I just
they're just
tell
out.
people at my gigs like, hey man, play that song that you just wrote. I'm like, I don't know it. I recorded it, and so when I got to do the songwriter series last year, and I was like, man, I'm having to scrap through. I was like, I got to learn because it's like a 2-hour thing. And but what you do is Rick McKee's the host, so like you'll play one, he'll play one, and you just go back and forth and you tell stories and about your music. But I'm like, this is really cool, but I've got to learn like 10 of my songs to play at this thing. And so I'm sitting there playing, and his wife gets up and tells you, okay, this is a songwriter environment. If you want to have a conversation, go outside and talk, turn your phones off. And when you get done playing the song, it's like super quiet. Nobody claps. You're like, did you like it?
Was that good or not?
And it's just, and like I said, at the bars and stuff, you have a few people looking at you, but like when you get done at these songwriter series that they do, they're like, everybody's looking at you, and I'm like, what I do? And they're like, but it was so neat because they're so engaged in it, and it's a very cool thing. So I had to get you guys hooked up with him. And,
Yeah, that'd be great.
because it's cool because it's a whole different aspect. I'm used to playing covers in bars and stuff and playing through the night to people drinking and having fun and get a check at the end of the night going home. But like when you get to tell, hey, let me tell you, I'm gonna do this song. Now let me tell you how I came about this song and how the story evolved and stuff. You learn things about songs versus just playing and stuff like that. Now sometimes every once in a while, when I'm doing my original, I very rarely do original stuff. But there's two things that I have two processes. Sometimes I'll tell people, hey, I'm going to do an original song. You can find the song on YouTube, or I'll slip it in the middle of a song. And like if I'm at a bar and I'm playing, Bad Company and Stevie Ray Vaughan, I'm going to throw mine in the middle. And I'm going to see
where it lands.
Do people keep dancing, or do they go sit down because they don't know the song, or what kind of reaction I get to the song and stuff. And sometimes it's cool to see it, and sometimes they go sit down. I'm like, well, what did I do wrong?
Well, and that's something that we're kind of tossing back and forth. To get in and out of these bar gigs and things like that, you're going to need a more cover-heavy playlist. But we just love doing the original stuff so much.
Yeah, it's fun when I get to do it. I'll tell you a really funny story about original, and like I said, it's just I don't have a lot of stories about my originals, but I was playing this restaurant one time, and I did one of my originals, and this guy come up and says, "No, this is a true story. I'm not making it up." This guy comes up and says, "Man, you did a pretty good job of covering that song." He said that wasn't a bad version. He says, but there was a few things you missed, but he said overall it was good." And I'm letting him talk, and I says, "Oh yeah." He said, "Yeah, that one spot it's supposed to go to a G, and you went to a D here." And it's like, "Oh, cool." I said, "So you play guitar?" "Oh yeah, man. I've been playing 40 years and stuff." And he says, "But I just want to tell you," he said, "I enjoy your show and stuff, and you sound good." He says, "But that wasn't a bad cover." And I said, "You've heard the song?" "Oh yeah, man. That song's on the radio." I says, "I wish." And I'm looking at him, and I says, "I don't know how I could play it wrong because I wrote it, sir." "No, you didn't write that." I says, "Yeah, I did."
Yeah, I wrote it.
And no, that's us. I said, "Well, who is it?" "No, it's so and so. I says, "There might be a song that's on the radio that sounds similar, but I wrote that." I'm like, go to my Facebook page and look, and like go down to 2015, and you'll see when I released it or whatever on YouTube. I'm like, I wrote that. I don't think so. I said, well, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you, but it's funny when you tell me I'm playing my own song wrong. But
that's funny.
That was when I was going to get a T-shirt made. I'm playing my own song wrong, but that's funny. So I can almost say I've seen it all now. But
yeah, that's a first.
Yeah, but it was just funny because I just let him talk. He's like, "Yeah, you're playing it wrong," and I'm like, "You sure?" "Oh yeah."
It's like interesting. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's like if it's on the radio, let me know because I want to dig deeper because I need some royalties.
Yeah, I need that royalty check.
But yeah, so do you guys want to so what we'll do, we'll post some links and stuff where you can find their music, and we'll post some contact information, like I said, if you guys are needing. And then keep in mind, like I said, it's predominantly original music stuff, but I bet if you have them come play your event, if they're playing, people's going like, "Man, who does that song? Is that a Bricks and you're gonna be probably trying to guess what song it is because you don't know if it's a original or cover." But I think you'll definitely enjoy it. They got some good stuff. But what we're gonna do, so we're gonna close out the program and we're gonna let these guys play a few songs. But y'all keep an eye out for No Chaser, and we thank you for tuning in to the After Dark Spotlight.
Thanks,
guys.
We're No Chaser. This is called Chevy. We went down to the bar on a Saturday night. I started shooting doubles till I felt alright. There was a cutie looking at me at a table of three. I slid on over to her and I asked her if she wants to take a ride in a Chevy. Feeling hot and heavy as you slide on into the back. We'll split the bottle under my seat, get you feeling nice and comfy. Watch your head on my gun rack. Or we can take it slow if you want to. But I know you don't want to. Now I know you're not the girl that gets like this when you drink. Oh Lord, don't you worry what your mama might think. It's been too long since you went down a dirt road and had a country song tuned to the radio. Took a ride in a Chevy, feeling hot and heavy as you slide on into the back. We'll split the bottle under my seat, get you feeling nice and comfy. Watch your head on my gun rack. Or we can take it slow if you want to. But I know you don't want to. Do you wanna take a ride in a Chevy, feeling hot and heavy as you slide on into the back? We'll split the bottle under my seat, get you feeling nice and comfy. Watch your head on my gun rack. Or we can take it slow if you want to. But I know you don't want to. All right.
Thank you for tuning in to the After Dark Spotlight. Today's sponsors are Lucas Smith Music, and Lucas Smith has a new EP called Bipolar that is now available on all digital platforms wherever you stream and download music. You can find where Lucas is playing live shows via his Facebook by the attached links. So check out Lucas Smith Music. Our next sponsor is Countryside Detailing. Ashton Phillips can be reached at 678-768-6706. And whether you go to them or they come to you, with years of experience, they will make your vehicle look brand new in and out. So go get your vehicle cleaned up and enjoy some fresh car riding from Countryside Detailing. Our next sponsor is Scene Clean H&H Home Improvements. Hunter Johnson and Harlan Javier. It's a professional cleaning service located right here in Cartersville, Georgia, with services all over north of Atlanta. Reach Hunter Johnson on Facebook to see firsthand every service that they offer. You can also get your free quote today via Facebook as well. Top quality services that will last for years to come. So for your home cleaning and home improvement services, see Hunter Johnson and Harlan Javier. Thank you all for your sponsorship to the After Dark Spotlight.
Loaded the truck down and I hit the road. Guitar and a tip jar for a Thursday night show. If you don't count the bar staff for the girl I took home, there's hardly a soul there to hear my damn song. The bartender asked me, what do you do this for? More than bonfires with vampires and slamming closed doors. More than night shift and bullshit and rent I can't afford. More than a sink full of dishes and a falling in porch. I want more. 18 is too young and 30's too old. You slow down or speed up, just do what you're told. You're up before the sun is and it's gone before you're home. You work your whole life away, what you really want's more than bonfires with vampires and slamming closed doors. More than night shift and bullshit and rent I can't afford. I'll do one with my business tip jar for a Thursday night show.